You haven't watched Toradora already? What are you doing? Watch it already, god dang it. In all seriousness, let's get right into this. So, Toradora revolves around two characters, Takasu Ryuji and Taiga Aisaka, who find out that they're in love with each other's best friends, so they agree to partner up and help each other get with the other's crush. Along the way, Taiga and Ryuji themselves get closer, which makes for a pretty interesting story. There's some pretty major arcs and events throughout the series, such as the Culture Festival, the Christmas arc, and all that stuff. We'll talk about that stuff later. There's a pretty decent mix of seriousness and comedy, and neither of the two are too dominant over the other, in my opinion. Sometimes you don't want to watch a bunch of anime girls make a bunch of stupid jokes for 30 minutes. Or maybe you don't want to cry the entire episode. If that's the case, then rom-coms definitely serve a good purpose. That whole Rainbow may have been pretty fucking useless. If so, then good. I'm happy to have just wasted your damn time. Now, we can go ahead and talk about the characters themselves. Starting up with Taiga Aisaka, I'm probably going to be biased here, very biased here, but Taiga is one of my favorite characters off the show, and one of my favorite characters in general. She's pretty short, standing at 143 centimeters. On a side note, I love how there's fucking info for her blood type. Bro, I need to know her credit card information. I need some cash, dude. This is crucial details I need. Say what you want about her antics, but in reality, Taiga is a good person. She cares about the people she loves, which is apparent when she fights Sumire Kano after she rejects Yusaku Kitamura and refuses to answer his confession, which she did to ensure that Kitamura does not abandon his future to try and pursue her, as she's going to study abroad in America. It's after this fight and her suspension that Taiga noticeably changes. Though even before then, there were still some nice moments with her. The Christmas episodes are pretty great for this reason, because sometimes you need a break from her causing literal freaking tornadoes in the classrooms. Like, what the fuck was going on here? There's also the ending, of course. Taiga decides to leave everyone to take care of her issues with her family rather than run away from her problems. It's a pretty respectable decision on her part, and it shows how she's matured and developed since the start of the series. There's some people who haven't seen the post-credits scene, though, which is pretty important, because in the very end, she does come back on Ryuji's graduation day to surprise him. I'm definitely glad that I didn't accidentally skip over this part. Now let's go ahead and talk about Kawashima Ami. Rewatches can definitely change your perspective on things, whether for better or worse, and in this case, it is definitely the former. I used to freaking hate Ami, mostly because of how she's presented early on. While I was even writing the script for this video, I was going to clarify how I didn't like her. But that was an old format of the script that I have since scrapped, and this rewatch really opened my eyes to Ami's character, and I honestly found myself liking her, which I initially thought was a really foreign fucking concept. Her starting point was a lot lower than Taiga's. My first opinion of Taiga was simply just a little bit annoying. My first opinion of Ami, though, was that she was a fucking bitch. She appears in the fifth episode, and she has this really annoying double side to her. She tries to act all cute around people, but in reality, she's a bit of an arrogant ass. One day, though, she has to deal with a stalker that caused her to move and transfer to Ohashi High School to begin with. Sorry if I mispronounced any names in this video, by the way. She ultimately gains the courage to confront the stalker and vows to get rid of that double-faced personality. I don't know how I didn't notice that development initially, but I'm pretty happy that I was paying attention this time. She genuinely cares for Yuji and even Taiga, despite the two being quite snappy at each other at first. Even in the later episode, they still bicker, but neither really hates the other, honestly. I can also see now why quite a few people, from my experience on the internet, would have liked to see Ryuji and Ami get together. She could have been a pretty good fit, to be honest. She's down to earth, very chill if she drops that annoying act that she had to start off, and she doesn't really cling to or depend on Ryuji like Taiga did throughout the series. So I can wholeheartedly say, to conclude this segment, that I like Ami. There's also Kishieda Minori, another character that I like. She's Ryuji's crush and Taiga's best friend, and pretty energetic and bright person, and a hard worker, and she works so many freaking jobs throughout this series. Like, bro, my resume is never gonna be looking like this. I'm gonna just be working minimum wage, the Krusty Krab or some shit. Later on in the series, Minori reveals that she had always liked Ryuji, but did not make any advancements because she felt Taiga needed him more than she ever did. And so Minori cares for Taiga so much that she's willing to, in a way, give Ryuji to Taiga, even if she liked him for herself. She's a pretty respectable character, and overall a really enjoyable one. There's also Yusaku Kitamura, and yeah, I discussed the girls first. I like women. Kitamura is Taiga's crush and Ryuji's best friend. Pretty smart guy, though he seriously needs to wear some clothes sometimes. Come on, man. He's a pretty cool fellow and a good friend to everyone. That's really all I have to say. I probably disappointed Kitamura fans by saying hardly anything about him. And honestly, I just don't really care about Kitamura all that much, if I'm going to be brutally honest here. But I could probably say more about Ryuji, the main character of the show. He looks very intimidating, which causes a lot of people to be scared of him at times, though he's actually a pretty nice dude when you ignore the looks and everything. He's calm, he tries to cool things down if it's getting heated, and he's pretty smart, though he also kind of dense at times. He always wants the best for everyone, and he's an amazing friend. Okay, I'm starting to sound gay here, but can you even blame me, though? You can't even blame me. That's most of the majority characters taken care of. I won't dive too far into the side characters, though my favorite side character is Inko-chan for sure. God damn it, something compels me to love this bird like it's my fucking own. And I know anyone else who has watched Toradora feels the same. If you don't love Inko, something is wrong with you. I also kind of feel that for Yuri sometimes, and Yasuke a pretty fun character. Now it's time to move on to the arcs. I need a reference for what arc was which and what episodes they enveloped, because I'm a lazy dumb shit. So I did a simple Google search and found a pretty useful one on the Toradora subreddit. Credit to you/Koala Jimbo on Reddit for this handy chart that I can use to fulfill my laziness. Time to discuss the arcs. Like I already said earlier, there are spoilers, so be warned. I was initially going to go into every single arc, but this video would just be getting too long, so I decided to simply cut that to just my favorite arcs. So, one of the arcs that I want to talk about is the Ami arc, which covers episodes 5 and 6. And I like this one because, although it is a bit short, it shows the redemption of Ami Kawashima. At first, again, like I already mentioned before, she was a manipulative, bitchy girl who hid behind this fake, kawaii, cutesy personality, blah, 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 blah. It was pretty annoying, and it made me kind of hate her. Even after the arc, some of the stuff she did to Taiga was unnecessary, but she was pretty bad here. Episode 6 addresses that, and after she has to deal with the stalker, who was the reason she had moved to begin with. The stalker tried to photograph Taiga, and Ami was empowered by Taiga's actions when she went to pretty much just chase after the damn dude. And she vowed to cut the act, which is exactly what she did. No more fake cute shit, and she became a better person in general. And again, like I already said, cares for Taiga, Ryuji, and the others. It was a pretty quick redemption arc, but great to see regardless. Like I said earlier, rewatching Toradora really helped me see Ami in a different light that I just was not capable of seeing her in before. Right after the Ami arc, though, comes the pool arc, which covers episodes 7 and 8, and it was really something. For starters, Ami really didn't need to pull a Josh Allen here with how far she threw Taiga into the pool, though she did try to apologize, I guess. They have an argument, and Minori says that they should settle it through sports, so they agree to a race in the pool, and if Ami won, Ryuji would spend the summer at her villa. I don't know how you pronounce that. I hope I got that right. Taiga gets a leg cramp during the race when it eventually happens. She pushed through with Ryuji's help. A bunch of idiots fall into the pool on top of them, causing him to get hurt. Taiga abandons the race to save him, and he wakes up to her screaming that he is hers. This is a pretty big moment, showing that Taiga cares for Ryuji and that she kind of likes him too, even though she's still trying to get with Kitamura. Another arc that I like is the I am pronouncing it right. The Culture Festival arc. I don't know anymore, dude. It covers episodes 11, 12, and 13, and it was a sad and fun one at the same time. The school's preparing for the Culture Festival for the year. I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong, even though I'm not. And Class 2C decided on a pro wrestling show. Not usually the type of thing you see. I like it. Beats another fucking maid cafe. There's like a billion of those. Ryuji encourages Taiga to connect with her dad, whom she lives away from and has for a while. She's reluctant, but after some persuasion, she agrees. But Minori finds out about this and is pretty upset because this kind of thing had happened before. You know, Taiga's father reappearing in her life, taking her out places, and then just suddenly disappearing again, and not really being there. And because of their disagreements, things are tense between Minori and Ryuji. Unfortunately, history repeats itself as Taiga's dad does not end up showing up to the Culture Festival like he had promised. Not even texting Taiga herself to cancel, but Ryuji instead. Like, what the fuck? There's also a beauty contest, which Taiga wins, and a race to see who dances with Taiga. Ryuji realizes Minori was right about Taiga's dad. He's determined to win. Minori shows up to help him win, though he insists on crossing the finish line with her, and they forgive each other again. It's a pretty wholesome ending for the arc, and it has a good mix of fun and seriousness, and it's nice to see that Minori and Ryuji were able to make up after all that. And then there was the Christmas arc, episodes 17, 18, and 19, and I absolutely love the Christmas arc. Taiga really changes after her suspension during the election arc, which I ended up leaving out of this video. I am really sorry about that, but There was I guess, a highlight in this one, in the election arc when Taiga fought Sumire Kano over the, the rejection thing and all that stuff. With Christmas around the corner, though, she aims to be as nice as possible. A Christmas party at the school is announced, and Minori says she's not gonna go. Everyone puts together the tree the next day, finishing off with a beautiful glass star that Taiga had, but a stray softball Minori's blasts through the window and knocks the tree over and KOs the goddamn star. Minori is really upset because of her mistake, and she tries to fix it herself. She declines attending the party again, feeling she won't be welcome, and honestly kind of felt bad for her because there has been a lot of stuff on her mind lately, and this just did not help matters at all. During the party the next night, Taiga goes home in hopes of seeing Santa, and Ryuji arrives with a bear Santa costume, and Taiga eventually realizes it's Ryuji. She wants him to go to Minori, and after he does, she realizes her true feelings for him, and she calls out for him desperately. God, I just misgendered Taiga. I'm gonna get canceled. No! And he's already gone by then. Minori, on her way to the party, sees Taiga and makes the choice to reject Ryuji, knowing Taiga needs him more. Really significant moment in the series, and what Minori did was just really amazing. And then the ski trip arc, another big one. During the ski trip that the school announces, a fight breaks out between Minori and Ami, and Minori loses a hairpin that Taiga gave her in the process. Taiga goes to retrieve it, only to not return. The gang go look for her, and they find her at the bottom of a hill, injured and barely conscious. Ryuji contemplates his feelings to her, and as he's carrying her to safety, she says that she just can't stop loving Ryuji, thinking that it was Yusaku that was saving her, when it was actually Ryuji. If the Christmas episode did not confirm her feelings, this will absolutely do it for sure. And then there's the absolute climax of the story. Taiga is staying with her mother following that ski trip incident, and Ryuji asks Yusaku to pretend that he was indeed the one who saved Taiga. After Yasuko collapses for overworking, Taiga and Ryuji fill in for her part-time job of selling chocolates and shit. Minie eventually notices that Taiga thinks that Yusaku was the one who saved her when it was actually Ryuji, and she gets a bit mad here. She confronts Taiga, who says she just wanted her to be happy. Taiga ends up running off, Minori chasing after her, asking Ryuji to tag along. Minori reveals that she always had liked Ryuji, but hid it because she had thought Taiga needed him more than her. I've already mentioned that concept several times. Ryuji and Taiga's mother confront them, and they end up fleeing. Ryuji says he wants to run away and marry Taiga, and they decide to reveal their true feelings. But ultimately, they end up getting a call from Yusaku, and they go to Ami's place and everything. And then there's the final episode. Of course, I have to talk about the final episode if there's other episodes that I just decided to skip out on. In the final episode, Yasuko makes out with her parents after running away initially, and Ryuji and Taiga also decide not to run away, and they plan to get married with everyone's approval, but Taiga decides to go back to her mother because she doesn't want to run from problems anymore. Taiga sends everyone a picture of a single star, Minori feeling that it's encouragement for everyone to do their best. A year later, to the graduation ceremony, Taiga returns to the school, and Ryuji finds her, where he finally truly confesses to her. It's an interesting ending, and I can't blame people for wanting like a season 2 or something where they spend more time as a couple. But I'm very glad that Taiga returned nonetheless. This video